Hey guys, welcome. Today is Wednesday, July 1st, 2026. And what a day today. On the Star Citizen Live PU front, we had Star Citizen Alpha 4.8.3 patch drop without a server maintenance. And what comes with this patch is the finale of the 4.8 patch cycle, the xenothreat event. Oh, what a buggy mess of a fun event that was. I streamed this event on both YouTube and Twitch for almost all day today. The gameplay experience is very polarized. On one hand, the desync issue is on the extreme side, to the point of simply hilarious. However, we still managed to enjoy the gameplay for a couple of hours, getting all the points and all the rewards for this mission, as well as looting some Idris M railguns. And for the detailed gameplay of this event, I'm gonna be doing some videos later. But here, I want to answer some of the most important questions that people have been asking during the live chat. First of all, how long is this event? This event will last until July 15th. That's what according to CIG, but they might change their mind and then extend the event time. But as of right now, this event will last for 2 weeks from now. It will end in July 15th. Second question, are there any account-bound reward for this event? The answer is no. The rewards that you get are all blueprints, but there are some very important blueprints. For example, the NDB neutron repeaters. And the most important one will be the military grade A shields, the FR66 and FR76. But these are only blueprints, so you will have to go through the resource gathering and crafting process in order to acquire them. The next question is, can we loot a Idris M railgun from the NPC Idris? The answer is yes. Not only that, we can also attach that Idris M railgun to our own Idris P. As long as you ensure the loadout, that railgun will be registered to you, so you can keep it for the rest of the patch. Now, most likely, this Idris railgun will be carried to the next patch, 4.9, 4.10, as long as the LTP works. And we all know the answer, because that's not 100% guaranteed that it will be carried to the next patch. So if you do own a Idris P, definitely worth it to get an Idris M railgun from these missions. And the cooldown for this mission is 3 hours. You can only do one mission every 3 hours. Even when your party share a different mission with you, you won't be able to accept it. But of course, you can always jump to your party marker and help your party members to finish that mission. But it won't be counted as part of your progress. The total points needed for this mission is 120,000 points. But my experience is, as long as you play with a group of people, it's quite easy to get the full points. You just need to do a handful of missions. So this mission is not very grindy. But the most painful part will be the constant teleporting of NPC ships. So good luck with that. The next important news is that in the World Cup, Team USA successfully advanced to the round of 16. Even with a questionable red card. But that second goal, the free kick, was such a sensation. Wonderful goal. Alright, let's get back to Star Citizen again. Here is something very interesting. The latest roadmap update for July 1st, 2026. To be honest, this isn't really a roadmap update, but a roadmap delay. Because if you read the roadmap updates, you will find out that the majority of the main features have been pushed from Alpha 4.9 to Alpha 4.10. And yes, we are going to have a Alpha 4.10, not 5.0, not yet. But if you start to feel a little bit disappointed and think this is such a bad thing, hold on a second. This might not be a bad thing. So let's take a look at the communication from CIG regarding this roadmap update. From the CIG community team, we'd like to ensure an update on the upcoming Alpha 4.9 release, as well as our ongoing initiative to address many of the common bugs and issues that both new and veteran players encounter on a regular basis. As mentioned during a recent Star Citizen Live, we reassured our bug prioritization process following the release of Alpha 4.8.0. As part of that effort, we've refined how we prioritize bugs with increased involvement from senior leadership alongside our development QA, player experience, community, and other supporting teams to help ensure we're focusing on the issues that will make the biggest impact. We hope that this approach means you will feel the difference. More issues fixed, and your gameplay sessions noticeably improving. Wow. Well, so far, I see just a tiny little start of issue being fixed. But the gameplay sessions is, well, compared with 4.8.1 and especially 4.8.0, the 4.8.2 has certain improvements. But 4.8.3, the xenothreat patch, released today, because the xenothreat is a global event, it stresses the server greatly. So even though the event is still playable, but the experience is quite rough. Now, based on the reports from the issue console, Spectrum, Reddit, direct player feedback, and other sources, we have identified nearly 100 issues that significantly impact the core gameplay system and quality of life, covering areas including instance hangers. Oh, definitely. How many of us have lost our instance hangers and the free elevators broken for months? Also, ATC and ship retrieval, free elevators, quantum travel and star map routing, inventory UI and interaction, ships being falsely marked as lost or destroyed, definitely, and docking. Oh my goodness, the docking, auto docking in the 4.9 is completely broken still. At least that's my experience. Ships and FPS AI. Well, ships and FPS AI, that's the desync issue, which is a major issue. Login flow, and the major issue will be Sherlock. Now, during my stream, there's also one player said he has been Sherlocked for over 2 weeks, still not able to log in and enjoy the game. And last, exploits. Well, there are multiple bugs even in the current 4.8 live. Some of them are bordering exploits. I think they're really good at patching the exploits. For example, the Tiburon turrets getting slaved to the pilot. That one is a very quick fix and good fix, right? Now, in addition, we are tracking a broader list of quality of life issues frequently reported by new players. While many veteran players have learned workarounds for common problems, they shouldn't have to. As we continue working toward making Star Citizen as welcoming as possible for new players, we're also addressing many of the issues that commonly affect the first hour of gameplay. Free elevators are a good example of why this matters. Despite 70 to 80 fixes since last summer, players still don't feel the system is as stable or reliable as it should be. Absolutely. It's totally unstable and unreliable. It's server dependent. If one free elevator on an outpost is broken on that server, it cannot self-heal itself. So we'll have to switch to a different server and then do whatever missions related to the free elevator. So yeah, definitely. Much of the work addressed individual symptoms rather than the underlying causes. Free elevators interact with many other gameplay systems, creating a large surface area for issues. But as a core gameplay feature, they need to be dependable at all times. Absolutely. So far, we resolved roughly 20% of the issues on our current priority list. We don't expect to complete every fix in time for Alpha 4.9, but we are more confident that this more methodical, root cause-driven approach is the right path forward for systems of Star Citizen's scale and complexity. If they can really find and solve some of the root problems, I believe this game is going to be a whole new experience. Until then, we are still fighting the endless bugs and looking for endless workarounds for endless bugs and issues. And this is not an exaggeration at all. Naturally, an initiative like this comes with trade-offs. It requires dedicated time from several of the teams responsible for these core systems, time that would otherwise be spent developing new features or supporting additional content. As a result, we've temporarily paused work on a small number of features while we focus on improving the stability of these fundamental systems. And this is such a release to hear that why most of the features in Star Citizen Alpha 4.9 is pushed to 4.10, as we shall see later. The reason is because they want to put more time and efforts in solving the root issues. So that's why I say this is not an entirely bad thing. Don't be disappointed. This should be celebrated, but we don't want to celebrate early because these are just written words. Until CIG put these words into action and action bring material results, then we can truly celebrate. Until then, we will be watching, testing, and give them all the support that we can give. For these many years of following Star Citizen and testing Star Citizen features, my feeling is that almost every single patch is always push new features. To me, I really love testing those new features, but sometimes we need to take a step back, pause on those features, and work on those issues. And this is exactly what they promised to do last year, the year of stability, the year of playability. But looks like that initiative and action has been delayed until now. With that in mind, we are moving GeForce and all instance-related content out of Alpha 4.9 and into a new 4.10 scheduled for mid-August. So right now is the beginning of July. For the first 2 weeks of July, we will be finishing Star Citizen Alpha 4.8.3 with the xenothreat events. After mid-July, we probably will have 4.9 going to live. And 4.9 will stay in about a month with very minimal new features while CIG works on resolving the issues. And then we're going to have Alpha 4.10 around mid-August. So it's not delayed that long. But my question is 1 month enough for them to resolve some of the game-breaking issues, such as the free elevator, inventory, so on and so forth? These additional 4 weeks will allow us to continue hardening the features and technology and related deliverables planned for that content. Instancing, in particular, introduces a significant number of new systems, backend services, and gameplay mechanics that require additional validation before we are comfortable bringing them to life. Based on the recent tech preview builds, we believe more work is still needed. With these changes, Alpha 4.9 in mid-July will still deliver a variety of reprioritized bug fixes, optimizations, quality of life improvements, and new content we're excited to get into your hands as quickly as possible, reflective of this new initiative that continues beyond this month's release into 4.10 in August and 4.11 this September. So 4.9 July, 4.10 August, and 4.11 September. Now, let's take a quick look of what's coming in Alpha 4.9. I won't be reading these into details, just a quick recap. So, support the miners mission pack. This is the Recco Battaglia mission in NYX. And this card has set to be committed to be released in Alpha 4.9. But this card also appeared in Alpha 4.10. So I'm not sure what's going on. Are they gonna release this thing in 4.9 or 4.10? So I'm a little confused about that. Next one is combat clothing, new hairstyles, ordnance cargo holder. I've tested that in one of my videos. This is for your missiles, bombs, and torpedoes. And Burying CQ-7 bullpup rifle. And this rifle is lootable in CZ, in the mission Battaglia, as well as in the normal bunker missions. Next one is a ship combat UI improvements. I will be making another video just for this after this video. Next one is the juvenile and adult Valakar behavior update. And the last one will be the ship flyby audio. Now, for Alpha 4.10, we will have the long-awaited Siege version together with instancing, as well as the Mission Giver Recco Battaglia. Also, the super heavy combat armor together with the Vendetta HMG. Also, some new Wicklow ship offers with a Drake Clipper. Also, the item recovery, ship loadout improvements. And then are the Nine-Tail armor update. And the last will be the fuel tanks and consumption rebalance. Now, CIG also said this: we are absolutely planning additional updates beyond Alpha 4.10, which is currently targeted for August. The features you mentioned, the new planets in NYX and Genesis related features, are still coming as they continue to be developed in parallel of these additional 4 weeks. We're simply using this time frame to address the community's feedback and focuses on the most impactful issues reported by players. We will get there, and we truly appreciate your continued support. They didn't give us a certain answer saying that these planets will come in 4.10. So my estimate is probably they will come in 4.11, which, according to CIG's communication, will be dropped this September. So 2 months from now. And that is it for this special roadmap update.